Et bonjour à tous, c'est Itakos et on se retrouve pour ce nouvel épisode, épisode 5 je crois, sur cette fois, non épisode 1 pardon, sur The Stanley Parable 2. Donc petit jeu que je viens de découvrir dans les secrets des fichiers. En fait c'est un nouveau jeu caché dans les tréfonds de Steam qui vient de sortir. Ils avaient annoncé édition Ultra Deluxe, mais en fait non. Dans les fichiers il y avait caché Stanley Parable 2. Découvrons ce jeu ensemble, c'est parti.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Pour l'instant ça change pas.
Stanley worked
il y a des
for a
ballons.
company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons.
Des ballons.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what.
Je laisse la cinématique pour voir s'il y a quelque chose qui a changé. À part les ballons.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Pour l'instant, ça diffère pas beaucoup.
Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly.
And Stanley was happy.
And Stanley was happy.
Toum.
And then
Nouvelle position de la cam.
something very peculiar happened.
Oh.
Something that would forever change Stanley.
Nouvelle position
Something
de
he would
cam,
never quite forget.
Mais qu'est-ce que
He had been at
c'est?
his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor.
Incroyable.
No one had showed up
Ces
to give
ballons.
him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to
Jusque-là, je connais. À part les ballons. C'est vrai que les ballons rajoutent vraiment du cachet. Hein.
He got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone.
Maybe he have just missed a memo.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Voilà. Oh, il y a le seau.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes. Yes. Gros contenu. Ah bah du coup il n'y a plus l'apport du nouveau contenu. Vu que on est dans le nouveau contenu.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Non mais du coup je fais quoi? Je joue normalement ou? On va à droite. On va continuer là où on était la dernière fois. Attends, me dis pas que le contenu. En fait, c'est les mêmes fins, mais.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Le seau me parle. Quand on fait d'autres choix, vu que c'est le seau qui nous rassure, le seau nous rassure dans nos choix. Le seau nous dit. Grâce au seau, eh ben, on se sent bien de faire des choix différents. C'est pas vrai. Ils ont refait tous les doublages juste pour intégrer le seau. Ah. Bon, on avait toujours pas fait toutes les fins de ce côté-là.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Le cargo lift,
said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets.
M'en fous, je vais sauter là et je vais aller dans la porte qu'il voulait.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Non. Je n'obéis pas au saut. Du coup, j'ai pas de dialogue.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It
Oh
says
non!
no buckets past this point.
Stanley,
Qu'est-ce que
how
je vais
could you
faire?
think it was okay
Oh,
to
ils ont
look
refait
at
tout le
it?
jeu avec le seau.
Unless- What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior.
Ah ouais, peut-être. En fait, je sais pas ce que c'est
If
qu'un seau.
that's true, well, my goodness. I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding
Il va
could
m'expliquer
have
ce que c'est
bad
qu'un seau là.
consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
Ils ont refait
So
tout
much
le
of
jeu
the
avec un
impact
seau.
of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please,
Ok.
step in here for a moment.
Ok. Qu'est-ce qu'un seau? Non, est-ce que c'est un seau?
Now then,
Ah,
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing
tellement
you
de fins
is a
différentes.
bucket.
Ça multiplie les fins par deux.
Right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need
Minimum.
to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Ok.
Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Non, c'est pas un seau.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Je le savais. Non mais je l'avais vu hein.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Non. Oh.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Je le savais aussi.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Hmm. Ouais, je le sens bien celui-là.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Yes. Je suis vraiment fort hein, pour connaître les sauts. Allez.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Bah oui, ça se voit, c'est un saut. Mince.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor.
Mais
It's
non.
an enormous machine that tills the earth. I
Ça y
think this was
ressemble.
a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible.
Pardon.
Let's just move on to the next one.
Ça ressemblait quand même vachement à un saut.
Is this a bucket?
Oui. Ah.
This is a bucket.
Merci. Il continue pas, il dit oui, c'est un saut. Rien, il n'ajoute rien.
Item 6.
Bon, putain.
Is this a bucket?
Non, oui. Non.
Trick question. Both.
Ah.
Gotcha.
C'est les deux. Bon bah c'est les deux. C'est à la fois un saut et pas un saut. C'est vrai, c'était un peu un piège.
Item. Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Ah, attends, je peux t'aider à... C'est un saut! Ah.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate
Ouais, mais il y a un saut là.
that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And
est-ce que t'es sûr de ça?
nothing could possibly be something. Unless in
Oh
your
là là.
twisted mind
Ça
you
va.
somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing. Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Nothing is a bucket. Est-ce que rien n'est un saut? Mais rien en tant que chose. Sauf que rien n'est rien. Du coup, est-ce que rien qui n'est rien est aussi un saut? Mais vu que ce n'est rien, ça ne peut pas être un saut. Par contre, si c'est rien, ça peut aussi être un saut. Oui.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Suis-je un saut? Oui.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this.
Tu es un saut.
I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship
No.
apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game.
Oh non, pas les sauts, pas les sauts, pas les sauts.
Okay, here we go.
Non. Non. Du coup, il s'est effacé lui-même
What
vu que c'est un saut.
happened? Is everything gone?
Oh, mais tout
Why
est un
did it
saut.
disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Je le savais.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea.
Je
How
pense.
could, except me?
Ah,
I'm not a bucket after all.
ok, donc
And
c'est
you,
pas un saut.
Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
C'est une bonne
This is
chose.
wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now.
C'est vrai, au moins on sait une chose, c'est que nous ne sommes pas des sauts.
Doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game.
Non.
So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Ok.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that
Ok,
information might do to a
donc je
person.
comprends comment l'édition
Alright,
de luxe
here we go.
fonctionne en fait. Si tu choisis de ramasser le seau, ça te débloque plein d'autres fins. Alors si tu ne le ramasses pas, eh ben tu peux jouer au jeu normal. Je pense que c'est ça.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Du coup, je vais pas le ramasser. Voilà, il est là. Et on va faire une fin normale du jeu de base. On va voir si d'autres choses ont changé. On va aller jusqu'au bout du
When
chemin.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Hop.
this was not the correct way to the
C'est
meeting
fou.
room,
Si tu
as
ramasses
Stanley
un
knew
seau ou pas,
perfectly well.
ça te double
He actually wanted to
les
stop
fins.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Just to admire it.
Stanley
J'adore la voix
felt
du mec.
lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business.
Et puis, je sais pas, l'ambiance sonore, les bruits, tout ça, je kiffe. Il reste encore 2 fins par là, sans compter les fins du saut. Ah, plutôt que maintenant. Ah, je vais essayer de prendre sa... Ah oui, donc on a 3 fins encore de ce côté-là. Je vais prendre la bonne porte.
But the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stan. What? Really? I was in the middle of something.
Ouais.
Zero consideration for
Zéro.
others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to
Bon, c'est
happen
bien,
to
c'est qu'après,
you?
une fois que t'as fait des fins, tu peux rusher pour avoir les autres.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to
Oui.
show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Moi, je vais lui faire confiance, je vais aller dans sa porte à lui.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Ok, c'est parti.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Ouais.
Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time?
Tourne.
The problem is all these choices.
On tourne.
The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Ouais, mais...
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop.
Quoi?
We would both be so much happier.
Mais j'aime bien là, je suis bien, je tourne en rond.
Stopped. And I think.
Écoute la gerbe au stream.
Here, let me show you.
Ah. Oh. Oh.
What do we want?
Ce qu'on veut.
What are we looking for?
Qu'est-ce que...
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Ok. Sauf que ça va être chiant si on reste longtemps ici. Puis il y a une sortie là en fait.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Bah... Pourquoi? Parce que... Oh, attends, il est cool là.
Right. Where were we?
Non, en fait, plutôt je vais m'en aller. Oh.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you
Quoi?
hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Ça serait dommage.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Ah.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Ouh. Je suis libre!
No! Oh,
Ah.
thank God.
Oh, ça fait mal.
You had me worried there for a
Ah,
moment.
on voit, mais...
Now, Can we please get back to the other room?
Bon, ok. Oh, je marche plus lentement là. Ouf, je me suis pété une jambe.
There. See?
Non,
This is what you want.
c'est pas ce que
This
je
is
veux,
where
non.
we can both be happy. We really
Non,
can.
pas moi.
If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Je veux continuer à avancer. Je veux cet escalier.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Je m'en fiche. Je suis libre.
No, no, what do you do? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince
Je
you?
suis libre. Libre. YOLO. Ah,
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
non. Je suis libre.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
Ça me brise le
You'll
cœur.
throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Oui. Libre. Oh la vache.
Maybe you're just
Oh, je marche de
getting a
plus en plus
kick out
lentement.
of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along.
C'est la fin
But I
suicide.
guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
Ouais, moi aussi je
Well,
culpabilise à
this
mort là.
one's yours.
Je m'en fiche, tu ne seras pas heureux, narrateur. Je suis libre de mes choix et je veux continuer à avancer vers la mort. Ah.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Wouh, c'était la fin suicide. Yes. Il nous reste 5 minutes. On va voir si je peux faire une autre fin rapidement.
All of his co-workers
Alors là,
had
il y a une
gone.
fin.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Allez, c'est parti.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ah, vous y attendez pas à ça. Mais moi, je connais le jeu.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Fistre.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative
Je suis
tropes.
fort quand même.
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place
Moi,
to
j'aime bien.
be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
C'est vrai que ça pique les yeux là.
Okay, I'm over
Ouais,
it
je me-
now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
J'en ai marre de cette blague. Ah, il n'y a plus la fenêtre. Ah, maintenant elle est là. Oula, ça m'a fait tourner. Non, j'aime bien la blague.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue.
Ah,
But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop?
je
Do
sais
you
pas.
think it would have been particularly
Bah
different?
sûrement, ça m'aurait fait
Or
reset.
I've taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer.
Oula.
Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
Peut-être.
Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will
Ah.
you spend in total just to have heard all
Bah, c'est vrai
the
que tu parles
narration?
beaucoup, on avait déjà
And
discuté
this is
tout à
it.
l'heure.
Perhaps you've just played the other option, and
Ouais.
now you've come to see what happens in this
On va
one.
faire ça, hein. On va
So,
reset et on va directement
what do you
cliquer sur
think?
oui.
Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one
Il va
who's
continuer
listening
jusqu'à
to
que je
this
dise oui, c'est
is
ça?
lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with
Okay.
the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Ok. Ah, il y a vraiment l'interface de The Stanley Parable 2, quoi. C'est des gros trolls. C'est tellement des trolls. En fait, c'est vraiment The Stanley Parable 2, ce jeu. Je fais oui. Ah, je fasse recommencer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No
Retrouver
matter
ça.
how
Hein.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Et ça va changer.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the
Ok, il dit la même
until he
chose.
heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video
Oui,
game
oui, oui.
structure
Ça
and
qu'on pourra
its
finir l'épisode après
examination
ça.
of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink
Oui,
it
je vais
all
faire,
in?
oui. Bien sûr, je vais faire, oui. C'est ça le but.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Je me demande si je relance le jeu, est-ce que ça va me remettre sur The Stanley Parable 2 ou est-ce que ça va me remettre Ultra Deluxe?
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time
Non,
to
ça change
quit.
rien en fait.
Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what
C'est vrai.
seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh! Ah, il va jouer? Il va chanter?
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the
Mais il me
truth
traitait de
must
lait.
be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly.
Il se fout de ma
What
gueule.
Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some
En fait, il me torture pour que je recommence le jeu, c'est ça?
did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Oh, oh là là! Oh le
Which is
salaud!
why he is in this parable and lives an
Un bol.
existence quite terrible.
Et
And if
molle.
you are not
Ils ont même
strong
fait rimer en
and
français.
keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Yeah. Yes.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Ça y est, t'as fini ta chanson? Oh, il va continuer à jeter. Oh, ok, bon, je pense que je peux recommencer. Très bien! Et ben, c'est sur cette petite touche musicale que nous terminons cet épisode. Je vais quand même recommencer le jeu. Hop. Et on est reparti. Enfin, on a fini pour cet épisode. J'espère que cet épisode sur The Stanley Parable 2 vous aura plu. C'était Itakos et on se retrouve au prochain épisode pour la suite. Allez, tchuss!